Good day. Welcome back to Flight Dreams. You can see it's a winter scene here. We're up in Iceland. I've only been to Reykjavik a couple of times in the flight sim. I've never been in this part of Iceland, so this will be new for me. You can see we're in a valley. So let's show you on the map where we're flying. We're flying this Northern Air Twin Otter by Aerosoft. See that it does have the Tundra wheels on, not the regular landing wheels you see on many of the Twin Otters that are flying down south. So let's have a look at the map. Zoom out here. Iceland, this is Reykjavik here. This is where we're flying today. Let's see here, the winds are 180 at 15, so we are going to be heading down to the south, down this valley, over this mountain range, and back up here. We are starting at, there we are, Bravo India Alpha Romeo. And if you're Icelandic, pardon the butchering of the name of the city, airport, Akureyri. Not a very good pronunciation, for sure. And then we're heading up here to the northeast tip of Iceland to Bravo India Tango November Thorshofn. Hopefully that's how it's pronounced. So let's put the map down. This is a passenger flight today, not a cargo flight. Northern Air does fly around Iceland. So let's hop in and let's get everything started. Okay, control lock is already off. Fire handles in. Emergency fuel switches normal. Let's see here. Fuel where am I here? Fuel selector normal. Fuel boost pumps normal. Off. Vent fan off. Ram air closed. Let's go to the overhead panel. De-icing switches off. Up here, bleed switches off. Pitot heat off. Generator switches off. Bus tie switch is normal. Windshield heat off. Wipers are off. Landing lights off. Ignition normal and guarded. Flap handle is up. Propeller level. Excuse me. First is fuel levers. The red levers here, they are off. Flap handle. We did fuel levers, propeller levers here. Feathered flight on idle on the power levels. Levers, rather, not levels. Okay, DC master on, battery on. Bus voltage should be up. This is it here, above that line of 20, that's great. Should be above 18. Internal lights. Let's go back up here. It's daytime, so let's just put dim, reading on, dim for the main entrance. Cabin signs on. Smoking fasten seatbelt position sign on. Emergency light test. Emergency armed. Caution light test complete. Fire detection test. It's complete. Fuel quantity. It's great. 1,600 pounds, a little bit over 1,600 pounds with what we need today. Fuel quantity test, we should see those indicators drop and then rise. And then the LT test, arm. Great. Fuel boost pump. Pump checks here. Fuel booster pump. On. You see those lights extinguish. They come back on. These lights here for the on, extinguish. That's great. Crossfeed check. Fuel boost pumps both on. Okay, looks good. And the emergency pump checks. Everything looks good there. Okay, passengers are all in, parking brake is set, cabin signs are on, flight recorder test, and on. So let's get some information here on the weather. 135.2 is the ATIS. Let's come over here. Dial in 135.2. A little tough to see those second set of digits. Press the switch to make it active. Put on COM 2.
Akureyri Airport Information Call 15000. Wind 19er 125. Visibility 6. Sky condition clear. Temperature tree. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.21. Visual runway 19er in use. Landing and departing runway 19er. BSR aircraft, say direction of flight. All aircraft read back all short instructions.
Excellent. So let's get the it's already in there, 2921. Very good. That's good. Let's get the where am I here? The tower up. Ground. Yeah, we're going to be heading out. Oh, we're going to be heading south, actually.
Akureyri ground, de Havilland Tango Foxtrot November Lima Charlie with hotel request taxi for takeoff south departure.
De Havilland Tango Foxtrot November Lima Charlie taxi to and hold short of runway 19er via taxiway cross runway 19er. Contact tower on 118.2 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 19er using taxiway cross runway 19er de Havilland November Lima Charlie.
Okay, let's get this flight plan into the computer. So we are taking off from Bravo, India. There we are. Edit. Let's just check our let's see before we do this if we have procedures to depart, if they're actually in here. There we go. We do have some procedures. And which one are we taking here? Jari 1E. So let's scoop down here to Jari 1E. See if we can get that in. Jari 1E. Great. And let's load that. Enter. Jari. And scoot down here. En route will be it is better actually for us to go back to here. Low. RETUR to RET. U for uniform, and then Romeo. Enter that, and then we'll leave the procedure out the arrival for now. We'll check that along the way, and we are going to BITN. B Bravo India Tango. November. And there we are. Excellent. Back to flight plan. Just going to be right here for a bit. We are here. Right, south and back up. Very good. Cool. I set this, we want 7,000 feet today. And we were heading south. South. (188 degrees). Okay, 188, and we are going to go, let me check this over now, 194. Once we're up, we'll make that little bit of a right turn. That'll be about there. Okay. Now we can go with the engine start checklist. Anti-collision lights on. Fuel levers off. Power levers feathered. Power levers. Flight idle. Fuel boost pumps both on. Start the right engine, starter switch. Oil pressure rising. Energy is fine. Fuel. Check. T5 rising. 42. Okay. Oil pressure is in the green. Right generator on. Start the left engine. Procedure. Oil is rising. Energy is sufficient. Above 15. Fuel on. T5 rising. Energy 42 rising. Starter switch off. Generator on. Okay, we've got our clearance. Voltmeters are fine. Let's see here, battery master switch on. Generators on. Voltmeters fine. Bus tie was normal. Bleed air. Let's do this. It's 3 degrees, but we want some heat in here. On. Want some heat. I'm going to put the. Not sure what we're going to get for icing today. On. Slow. We're good there. Check to see the warning lights. That's okay. So we want to bring our prop levers forward all the way. Vent fan as required. Radio set transponder should be standby. Altimeter is set. Flaps to 10. 10. Okay, let's push back. Actually, I should have pushed back before I started. That was a little silly. However, request pushback. I don't know what I was thinking there. We don't want this guy out front there with the props going. Maybe it's okay, I'm not sure. Okay, let's release the brake. This is a great new feature on the Pushback by Ambitious Pilot. Can be found on flightsim.to. Absolutely fantastic. We had to guess before where we had to put the plane, but no more. Parking brake. Okay. Before taxi, passenger signs are on. Flight controls. Free and full movement. Instruments checked. De-ice as required. Start the clock. Parking brake off. And a little bit of throttle. Everything's fine. Let's get our co-pilot working. Feather.
Akureyri Tower de Havilland Tango Foxtrot November Lima Charlie ready at runway 19er south departure. De Havilland Tango Foxtrot November Lima Charlie altimeter 29er decimal 23 wind 19er 1 at 27. South departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
Altimeter's gone up a bit again.
Takeoff runway 19er de Havilland November Lima Charlie.
Backtracking on 19. Okay. Before takeoff checklist, propellers, full forward, flight instruments checked, engines checked, flap 10 degrees, bleed air on, de-icing on, pitot switch on, trim 10 degrees. Altimeter set, transponder is on. Autopilot is set. Flight data recorder on. Passenger signs are on. Landing lights on. Anti-collision on. Strobes on. Okay, we're all set. A bit over to the right here, but what happens when you set the trim, or reset the trim for 10 degrees? Looks like probably a church over here. Buildings up on the hill, some homes. Beautiful day for flying. Some clouds, and yeah, 40 degrees in Iceland. Beautiful. Should be the end of the runway there. A little tough to tell sometimes with the snow. Almost there. We have sufficient. Let's turn. Altitude here is just about sea level. Lined up with the runway, brakes on. Torque to 30. It's right under the fire pull handles. Instrument gauge is fine. Release the brakes. Torque up to just under 50. Pull this in. Rotate.
De Havilland, November Lima Charlie, continue for south departure. Akureyri Tower de Havilland Tango Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie continue for south departure.
Excellent. Okay, I took the auto feather off, yaw damper on, autopilot on, flying nav, so it's going to fly our route up to 7,000 feet. Going a little bit too fast, we climb slower pace, get us up faster. Let's see what 1,500 feet per minute does it. That's beautiful here. Flaps up. We're going to be flying below 10,000 feet today, so we're not going to turn the lights off, landing light or the taxi light. We will turn the passenger sign off though shortly.
November Lima Charlie, leaving my airspace frequency change approved. Akureyri Tower to Havilland, Takeoff Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie frequency change. Akureyri approach to Havilland, Takeoff Foxtrot, November Lima Charlie is type to Havilland, Twin Otter 3 miles, south of Akureyri 2,600 feet. Request, flight following.
De Havilland Tango Foxtrot, November Lima Charlie, Akureyri approach. Squawk 6126.
Squawk 6126 to Havilland, November Lima Charlie.
All the
De Havilland, November Lima Charlie, radar contact 4 miles south of Akureyri 3,600
prop back rather to feather.
Altimeter 29.23.
Keep the torque just below
Roger
50.
to Havilland, November Lima Charlie.
We need to lower our nose here. I like to climb about 100. There we go, stall. Okay, come on. There we go. It's because that happened because I didn't have throttles back to 75% right here, or the propeller rather, back to 75%. My target is 100 knots per hour on the climb. Right now we're climbing about 400 feet per minute. Sun up there. Beautiful valley these people live in. Just heading where we are going. Just in case I have to go from nav to heading. 215 is where we want to be. There. Winds are 25 knots right in our face. That's good. Doing well. A little bit above our 100. Wow, look at how flat it is up here. I'm sure we'll come across some volcanoes, at least it looks like it. Just have a quick look. And right in through here, these are no-fly zones. So we might get some mountains, volcanic mountains towering over us. Let's see. Back. Doesn't have an altitude on them. Okay, 110, we can probably go up. 100, let's go to 500, see if that'll run to the 100 feet per minute. River down here, frozen. Still climbing the airspeeds. Put up to 700 feet per minute. I want to get up enough, it looks like we are, so we can safely traverse that ridge. few clouds around. Does make it look pretty. There. 100 feet per minute. So let's bring this down to 600 feet per minute. That warning was that we're within 1,000 feet of our target altitude of 7,000. Just past 6,100 now. The warning bells and whistles and chimes go off. It doesn't always mean there's a problem. It's similar to being in your car. Lots of warnings, but it doesn't mean you're in imminent danger. So you just have to know situational awareness, where you are, what's going on when you hear a chime or a bell. Lowering again our airspeed, so just so we don't stall, we'll bring it back to 500, even though we only have 500 feet to go. So take a minute to get there. That's the rate of climb, 500 feet per minute. So we've got a bit to go. Always curious what people in these towns do for a living. Possibly up here in Iceland, fishing. I obviously don't know, I haven't researched it. Living in a big city, lots of different kind of work. I'm an office worker. I don't think there'd be much room for me as an office worker in these towns up here. You never know, though. Okay, cruise level. We're going to turn the seatbelt sign off. Bleed air we leave on, and the anti-ice deflector we leave on. The Twin Otter, there is no service, cabin service, so hopefully the people in the cabin have brought their own drinks, snacks. Don't have far to go today. I think I will bring it back to economy cruise, which is 40 on the torque, 75 on the props. We don't have to change that again. 40 on the torque. Save a bit of fuel, slows the plane a little bit, but that's taken into account in the schedule. I do like to climb with a torque just under 50. It will give you more power, help get up to your cruise altitude. So we passed NDB Tango Oscar. Now we're heading to November Bravo, which is right here. I haven't put those frequencies into the radio here, which will show up here. We will do that, however, for our approach. Because we'll be using the NDB approach today. So see that later. 2 minutes. And we'll be there 4 miles. Fuel flow 300 each engine, so 600. 600 pounds. We've got about 1,600 pounds, so more than enough fuel. Our temperature, we were at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be 5 degrees centigrade down to about, where am I here, 10 minus 12 centigrade. It's beautiful up here. Interesting how these rivers have just
November Lima Charlie, contact Reykjavik Center on 125.5. Good day.
interesting how they've carved away the valleys.
125.5 to Havilland, November Lima Charlie. Reykjavik Center to Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie 7,000 feet. To Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November Lima Charlie, Reykjavik, Center altimeter 29.23, continue as planned.
See here, our ground speed is 123. 124 now. 27 knot wind into our face. You'll see how that changes. Shortly we make this left turn, and we'll make the left turn, the wind will be at our back. And we will start picking up speed. Up here, 145 is our heading for our route out there, and we pull the heading bug to be right in line here. The two are different because it's the wind. You can see here the wind is coming about this direction, so it's pushing us to the left, and we have to fly a little bit to the right to stay on course. Not many trees up here, pine trees. Always thinking ahead, at least you should be. Flight plan here. Once we hit Reacher, I'll start planning for our approach. And Reacher is where we make our right turn onto Airway Gulf 4 and heading right to our destination. And I checked earlier, we don't have any weather available at our destination. But I do know, I'll show you right now, the winds at our destination. Here, do layers, wind barb, make sure that's at the service, done. Come on, show up. They will show up. They are from the south. So we're going to be doing the NDP approach. Come to the NDP, turn around and come back in. I don't know why that's not coming up, but it will. You can see our airspeed has gone up to 141, 140, from the 123.24. And that will climb even further once we make our right turn in about 2 minutes at Yari. I said we think it's pronounced Yari, not Chari. Excuse me. Looks like we might be just in the clouds. and not cloud surfing today, so if that is the case, we'll go up to 9,000 feet. Looks like the clouds are a little thinner up here, so I think we'll do that anyway. After we get past this left turn that we're making, a little bit more than a 90-degree angle. But that was the SID, the standard instrument departure, to make sure that we were clear of all obstacles. We could have turned earlier, but we stayed on that SID. Maybe we won't be cloud surfing. We'll see what we get up here. So we'll stay at 7,000 for now. Part of the reason for doing that, two actually. One is so that we have visibility. No point in flying in clouds if you don't have to. It's better to have visibility. See what other traffic around. Although probably not much in Iceland, but good practice. And make sure that the passengers are having a good view. Always better to look at the top of the clouds as you're surfing by rather than in the clouds. Nothing to see in the clouds. There we go. 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes now. Go back to return. I'm surprised that there are even some trees down here. Very desolate. These flashing lights, by the way, if you haven't been on a Twin Otter trip with me, it is the autopilot, and it's actually trimming the plane all the time to make it fly level. So this just says trim in motion, and here you can see whether it's trim up or trim down. Of course, now when I mention it, the sunlight is on it, but you can see that's bright when it comes on and which way the trim is moving. Now, curious to know, in these valleys, whether they were created by the erosion of those rivers, or were they arms or valleys that were dug out by the receding glaciers in the last ice age? And I don't know the answer to that one. And 35 is where we're heading. I always like to move these needles so that I know where we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be doing. Just situational awareness. I haven't changed any of the engine settings since we leveled off at 7,000 feet. If you recall, it's
November Lima Charlie, contact Akureyri approach on 118.2. Good day. Going to 118.2 to Havilland, November Lima Charlie. Akureyri approach to Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie 7,000 feet.
De Havilland Tango Foxtrot, November Lima Charlie, Akureyri approach altimeter 29.25 continue as planned.
I guess I didn't get the name of the town too wrong. So I haven't changed any of the settings. We're still at 40 here on the torque, at 75 on the propellers. But now we're going 179, 178, 77 ground speed, if you recall. We were at 123.24 as we were heading south. Now we're heading northwest, and we've picked up 4 minutes to go. We'll put this out a little bit. There we go. Let's just see how many. I've been actually in command for 25 minutes. The time is 15:47. That's Zulu time, Greenwich Mean Time. There's the ocean out here. Boy, it'd be interesting to bring one of the ski versions of the Twin Otter up here. Lots of places to land a Twin Otter on the snow. Looks fairly flat. Not over here, but certainly over here in this area. Some mountains here. There should be some over here. Remember we looked at those no-fly zones. I don't know, it should show up, it being the no-fly zones. No, maybe it won't. On the other hand, I could be too far out. Zoomed too far out. We'll see. Excellent, everything looks good. This beautiful scenery up here. Getting a little bumpy. I think I'm going to turn those seatbelt signs back on. It's probably from the winds coming down these valleys, up the ridges, and hitting the plane. So, it's not too bad right now, but that's probably what caused it, which means over here, we may get some more turbulence as we come. The wind comes down the valley below us, hits the end, and comes up. We'll see if we get that. Actually, we might not, because we might be only one more minute before we turn. But the valley, that probably goes up here, so just see what is happening here on the Navigraph charts. There we are. Let's put it on world map. Not much here. My sense is this is where we took off from. Let's see. Zoom in. Probably over here. Not this arm here, but that one on the other side. So we're going to make our right turn, and there we go. Now, let's see, we got 24 minutes to our destination. I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, let's go back to the map. And I want to put in the NDB 373. Switch. Tune in 373. Switch back to the active. And this will come in when it's close enough. I'll put the AD off button on here so we'll hear the sound beeping when it comes on the Morse code. Let's change this to 64. Where we are, and the heading is right there. Let's see, did that come up? No, it's interesting that the layers did not come up. But I did check earlier. weather, as you always do before you take off. Check all aspects of flight weather. And zoom in here. And let's bring up the Navgraph charts again. And here we are. We want the NDB runway 19. So we should fly right over the NDB, head out at 30 degrees, left turn to 191 and back in. NDB at 3,000 feet. Our turn at 1,600 and back in. So let's see, let's get this procedure put in. Approach, NDB 19, NTN, it's already there, perfect. Sometimes when we activate this, you can see here, we'll come in this way, TN, come up, make our turn. Our waypoint to begin this is Tango November, which is right over the airport. If our waypoint to start this approach was up here, we may change direction. But because we're really heading almost to there anyway, we're not changing direction. So let's set up the vertical nav. We want to be 3,000 feet. And I don't, thank you, 3. Okay, 3,000. I don't want it 5 miles before. I want it right on. So put this to 0. Before. And let's just fly down here and find TN. There we are, TN, enter. So we got 16 minutes, 45 seconds before we have to start our descent at 1,000 feet per minute. Vertical speed profile. I wonder if these are the... Let's have a look at the map again. That's the lake we're seeing right here. That is this lake down here. So, getting close. Of course, if you're on me for a trip I did across James Bay in Canada, you'll know that sometimes picking out airports in the winter in the far north can be difficult because lakes and rivers and runways look very much the same until you're very close to the runway. Let's notice that there isn't, keeps on coming up with that every time you open it, unfortunately. However, there isn't here any weather information. So we're still going to go with what we had. Not sure we're going to get an update on the altimeter. We can always just push B and the flight simulator, and that will update the altimeter, which gives us the, if it's changed, it'll move the reading, and then the plane will come back to the 7,000. But we don't have that option this time. Okay, how many minutes? 14 minutes. So we must be going over right here. This shutout is this right here, and we can't fly in there. But Navigraph doesn't have that information. Not Navigraph, rather. SkyVector does not have that information in here. It has it in the US on those charts about what the restrictions are of flying in here, but we're missing it, so we're okay. I think, where am I here? Lighting. Not that there's much to do, but we'll give our passengers a green light to walk around again, visit people. Should they know anybody, or just remove the seatbelt, which obviously is never recommended. The ocean here. And you can see the ocean all along the horizon over to here. Nice short flight today. Probably not a road. Doesn't. Looks like there. Yeah. There's a road that we were here. It does wind up from over here. I guess you go up here. This is the road here. It looks like along the coast, down here, back up to here, and around the bay and back in. So they can get here by vehicle. Probably a long time to do so. Haven't picked up that NBT yet. I've had times where I thought I would pick up an NDB or a VOR or even an iOS, but it's just not in the game. It rarely happens where it's not in the simulator.
November Lima Charlie, contact Reykjavik Center on 125.5.
But it does happen.
Going to 125.5 to Havilland, November Lima Charlie. Reykjavik Center to Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie 7,000 feet. The Havilland Tango Foxtrot, November Lima Charlie Reykjavik, Center altimeter 29.25, continue as planned.
Got the altimeter, we'll change that up to 2.5. Looks like we're heading right for this mountain here. Probably this over here, but as we're looking at it, we're from such a distance away. We're actually probably going to be going to the airport over here somewhere. Four more trees on this side. That looks like a road here. Four more trees on this side, the northeast side of Iceland. There was in the middle where we took off from. I would think that in real life, this would be a return flight just about immediately. You have time for the passengers to disembark, the new passengers to get on board, and get the flight plan and everything. Probably wouldn't have to top up with fuel. Maybe we would. We probably would. We're down to, we started just over 8, about 2, maybe not. Just come back in. Might be enough fuel to make it. But the wind is going to be a strong headwind on the way back. But we're not doing that. We're going to let another set of pilots do that. And we are staying up here for the evening. That's where our video will end. So I do want to have a look here again. Always checking to see where we are, checking ahead, planning ahead. Airport. It's a gravel asphalt runway, so I'm glad we brought in the Tundra tires. Probably could have used the skis, but we're going Tundra today. There is no formal, it looks like, hangar, terminal, so we'll just pull over where we can unless we see a building. Yes, right here at 2425, an altitude of 2,425. That's this peak right here. And we're heading here, which is just about here. There's that spit of land, tip of it. So I think we're going to be just about there. So let's see, on our nav, 6-7 minutes before we start our descent. Still haven't picked up the NDB. Stands for non-directional beacon. It just points to that beacon. Not used very much anymore. They're really being replaced or just abandoned. Yeah, certainly in North America they are around, but not as prevalent as they used to be. I can see why here up in Northern Iceland they'd still be there rather than the VORs. So it looks like we're going to be clear all the way in. Those clouds are probably off on the horizon further. Pull in here and keep my eye on when it's time to descend. When we do reach that point, just prior to reaching that point, we'll change the altitude from 7,000 to the target of 3,000. And then when this says begin descent, or words to that effect, we will actually arm the altitude, and then down where we select the descent rate, we'll click 1,000 feet per minute. We'll keep an eye on the speed. We'll keep an eye on the torque. runs off of the coast up here. Let's see if they actually show up. No, so it must just be visual. How it looks, it's dark here, so they're really not islands. Looks like it goes down in altitude. Here's dark. Interesting, so I can just hear the ADF Morse code on. See, it's pointing to it. But because of the wind coming from our back right, about 4 o'clock, we have to fly a little bit to the right of our line. It's a gravel asphalt runway. If it's up here, doesn't look snow covered. Right ahead of us, it just depends where we are. Yeah, it looks like it's up more in the bays, up in here. So it looks like we wouldn't have needed the skis anyway today. 2 minutes and 15 seconds before descent. So let's put the passenger sign, I see the sign back on. Fleet air is on, anti-ice is still on. Landing and taxi lights are on. Fuel quantity is checked. So we get some instructions here. Select a runway 19.
Bravo India Tango, November traffic to Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie 16 miles southwest, 7,000 feet inbound to land runway 19er.
So, I knew we wouldn't have air traffic control because it is a magenta airport. And you have here, a blue airport. There is air traffic control. Magenta, there is no air traffic control. So you're on your own. You must be very diligent to see who or what is around. So 1 minute, let's bring our altitude down to 3,000. Okay, we can descend to our targets. Arm the altitude. Let's descend at 1,000 feet per minute. We'll keep an eye here. We don't want to go too fast, which we are starting to. We'll take it off the descent here. Map. Looks like This may be it here. Little village here. We'll see. Our profile 1075. Pull the torque back, the throttle back to 30. We should be passing over the airport at 3,000 feet. Actually passing over the NDB Tango November at 3,000 feet. Ice here. Zoom in. Harbor here. Some homes here, and there is the runway. Clear of snow and ice. Let's see the temperature. About the same. Up a little bit. Checking the speed. So I'm going to bring this back to 10. Lower the speed a bit. See, it's dropping here. Don't want to lower it too much because we do have to turn left, go out, make a circle, and come back in. So let's check that. Must be a way to get rid of that. I'll have to do that. So 3,000. Once we pass, we've got to go down to 1,600. I'm going to set the altitude now, so keep us descending to 1,600 feet. There's the runway here. Oh, it looks like, yeah, there is. Right here. Little hangar. Or building of some kind. Terminal. We've got 4.7 miles to go after we make our turn. We'll start descending at 500 feet per minute. The airport altitude is 64. That right here was the mountain we were looking at from a distance. This one right there. So we've made our turn. A little bit high. Looks like trails up here. Bearing Tundra. That's just the alarm to tell us we're within 1,000 feet of our set altitude. As we get closer to the 1,600, I'll add some propeller. Not a lot. But enough so that we don't stall. Let's see what the temperature is now. 20, we're at 35 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees centigrade. Almost at 1,600, so Come up to 20. Zoom in here. We'll make it as hard left. In a moment, 18 seconds. And the wind, 15 knots from the south. There's our hard turn here. Okay, checks. Passenger signs on, bleed air left and right on, de-icing deflector on, landing lights on, altimeter set to local, the yaw damper off, and bring the propellers all the way forward. See, it's such a tight turn, we've got to come back. We'll head to the right. Here's the airport in here. And we actually have some lights at the airport, so that's great. And 4.7 miles from the runway. Let's just see our flight plan. Good. Once we pass Foxtrot November 20, 5 miles here. So 4.7 miles. We will descend and we'll put about 400 feet here. 4.4, 4.7 arm. Descend at 500 feet. And let's pull the throttle back to 10. Actually less than that. Here's the runway here. Want to get to 105 knots before we add 10 degrees of flaps. We've got 10 degrees of flaps. We want to have it at 30 for landing. Where am I here? 37, flaps at 95. 95 we can extend. So we're at 95, not quite. Throttle back. Wind is just about in our face here. 12, that's great. Flaps 20, flaps 30. Take it off autopilot. Bit of down trim. Trying to get that throttle up to 10. Up trim. Mistaking the runway today. You can see here our vertical speed is 500. That's what we're looking at. A little bit below. This indicator is where we are in the glide slope compared to that line in the middle. So come up a little bit, add a little bit of throttle to come up.
500.
There we go. Bring the throttle back to 10. Look at the green in there at that lake. Wow. Phenomenal. Got a bit of throttle. Sometimes you want to sightsee more than you want to fly. I may use reverse thrusters today. We don't want to go too far past that terminal. What a beautiful flight this is. Area I have never flown in. A little bit close to the hill there, that's interesting. Continue. We didn't have the visibility of the runway at that point. We wouldn't land.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Reverse thrust down to 40 knots. There we go. Brake. Turn now. We don't want to turn too fast. Sometimes lopsided, so flaps up. Trim back to 10 degrees. Get in there. So down in there, taxi. Strobes off. Landing lights off. Pitot heat off. Here we'll leave on de-ice off. Transponder off. Trim has been reset. And there's our marshal.
Bravo India Tango, November traffic to Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November Lima, Charlie is clear of the runway. Bravo India Tango, November traffic to Havilland, Tango Foxtrot, November
And
Lima,
there we are.
Charlie is clear of the runway.
Brake. Brakes are on. Stop the clock. How long was the flight? 1 hour and 4 minutes. Radios. Propellers idle. Sorry, propellers to feather. Let's get over here. Back to feather. Generators off. Fuel levers off. These pumps, levers, fuel levers. Should have done this first. No. Off. This one's off. Lights. Taxi off. Fasten seatbelt position. Leave these lights on for everybody to see. And we get internal and battery off. Go. We'll open the door for everybody to get out. I'll just scoot back to the cockpit here, and let's put the control locks on. Let's just see what the temperature is. About 42. Wonderful. Well, that's it. Thank you for joining me today. Fantastic flight. Area I've never flown, but I will be back. Absolutely. And as always, may you have 3 green, blue skies, and the wind at your back. Bye for now.